4 questions for the Bible, the New Testament, in just a few minutes. And we are in Matthew chapter 2, verse 9. And if you are new to our channel, we just do really quick some questions that we believe, and I personally believe on my own journey in finding truth in the history and what may or may not be true by diving deep into this Bible, because it has had such a powerful impact not only in our country but the world. So having some deep knowledge on it seems to make sense. And with that, we are at the point where the Magi, they did as King Herod says. They went down to go see a timeline to find out what's going on with this virgin birth and some star. So they did that, and they followed this star to the east. So I assume they just keep walking or riding their camel or whatever. It doesn't say. They just go. And the star is hung over the baby Jesus. I don't know what a hung star is. We've all walked at night. So if there's one specific bright star, some have argued there was a specific comet. But, comets, they move. And even if it was slow moving because it was at a distance, then they just don't hang directly over a baby, and that's all it says, so we don't know. And so that he goes, it just doesn't seem to make any sense is what I'm getting at. You can follow a star and then all of a sudden you just come upon this one baby. I mean, you got to be really exact following a star. And so what does this represent and why? Is there some type of symbolism here like there are with the numerology, with not mentioning the deluge stories and other that spread around the whole world, that all these different cultures from everywhere predate the Bible, talking about the flood, and all the numerology with the 12 disciples, all the 40 year or 40 generations. I mean, there just goes on and on and on. So what's the symbolism? It seems to be saying something that I just can't quite grasp. So if you know, I'd appreciate you commenting. And the second question is, where is it written and by whom that anyone should follow this star? Like, why are they going after the star? There's no explanation. Oh, look, a star. We should probably follow it till we find the King of the Jews. There's no explanation of that at all. So then you get to chapter 2, verse 11. They walk until they come into the house of Mary holding a child. I can see where that would be significant. A woman holding a newborn is often very pretty. It's a beautiful image. I think most of us enjoy seeing a content and happy mother holding her healthy, beautiful child. But why is that so inspiring in this book? Okay, a mother's holding a child. Does that cause a man, these Magi and King Herod, to bow? I'm pretty certain there had to be other pregnant women or women that were freshly gave birth to a son immediately around this area. What made him so different? Because it does not say. And then the last question, which is pretty interesting, at least for me, because I love this stuff. The gifts are significant that these Magi gave. They gave gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And the frankincense and myrrh were spices. People use them for cooking, but they also had powerful healing properties that people still practice with all over the world, using frankincense and myrrh to heal all sorts of ailments. And it's still very popular. And I personally know people that have used frankincense to do some pretty major things with their health. I think it's interesting that the Bible puts that Matthew pretty much right out of the gate, frankincense and myrrh. And of course we all know gold. I mean, gold is many times throughout history and in many cultures, it's God's money. It does not tarnish. It's a fascinating metal. So with that, I think it's interesting that those 3 things are gifts to Jesus. But why the gifts and why those things? What is the meaning behind those? Because it seems to be emphasizing how those 3 things are really important and important to be given. With that, I appreciate you joining us. And if you like these topics and you like topics that are outside of the Bible, we get together every Sunday at 1:15 right here. We delve deep into topics of how to use our critical thinking on a variety of subject matter that gets us closer to ourselves, closer to others, so ultimately we can be closer to the infinite, the source of all things, God, that can help us in our day-to-day life and in our relationships with others and with ourselves. And with that, we'll see you next time.